Okay, a rectangular sandbox will be constructed for the students at an elementary school. The sandbox will be filled to the top of the sandbox with sand. So this is going to be our sandbox right here, and they're going to fill this thing all the way to the top. If each bag of sand contains 2.6 cubic feet of sand, how many bags of sand will need to be purchased to completely fill the sandbox? So to understand this word problem, we're going to fill this whole thing up with sand, and we want to figure out how many bags of sand we need to purchase to do that. But we first need to figure out how much sand can this thing hold. So that's volume. What is the volume of this shape right over here? And this shape, it's not a prism, it's not a pyramid. This is a rectangular, well, it is. It's a rectangular prism. I said it's not a triangular prism or a triangular pyramid. It is a rectangular pyramid. It's got the four sides. So we first need to find the volume of that. So when you find volume of a prism, it's just the big B, the base, times the height, which in this case is really the same as length times width times height. So our first step, and this is multi-step, is we got to multiply that times that times that to get our answer. And I could start with 1.5 times 5 right here. And remember to move decimals. This could have been a problem here. 5 times 5 is 25. I'm going to carry the 2. And then I'm going to do 5 times 1 is 5, plus 2 is 7. And then I'm going to bring my decimal back to 7.5. So far I have 7.5. But now I know, clear this out, I'm going to need to multiply that by this right here. By the, that's not really the height, but at that point that's kind of the length. So let's multiply that by 6.5. Let's see what we get. Again, I'm going to move my decimal point over. 5 times 5 is 25. Carry the 2. 5 times 7 is 35. Plus 2 is 37. Let me cancel that out. Let's place a 0 there. Alright. Starting fresh with the 6. 6 times 5 is 30. 0. Carry the 3. 6 times 7 is 42. Plus 3 is 43, 44, 45. So got this here. Need to add it up. Let's do 5, 7, 8, 4. We can't forget to bring my 2 decimal points back. So what I'm getting for the volume of this box is basically 48 and 75 hundredths. That's the volume of this box. And this is tricky because a lot of people will stop there and think you've got the answer. It was an open answer word problem. Could have just written this in and moved on to the next question. But we go back and we really read what it wants. If each bag of sand contains 2.6 cubic feet of sand, how many bags of sand will need to be purchased? Well, all we solve for is the volume. 48.75 is how much this can hold. So now we're going to buy sand, or in this word problem they're going to buy sand, dump it in this thing. How many bags of sand do they need to buy to fill this up? So what we really need to do is divide now. We need to take 48 and 75 hundredths, and we need to divide by the number 2.6 right here. So kind of tricky because you have to divide with the decimal. So if we remember kind of our fundamentals for this, we need to move our decimal to the end here, which means we're going to move it one place there, and I'm going to bring it up. Okay, I'm going to erase this right here and get us a little room. Alright, so let's do this division. Now I basically have 26 is what I'm looking at. So 26 does not go into 4. 26 goes into 48 one time, and 26 times 1 is 26, so I'll now subtract. As I subtract, I should get 2 there, and then 7 right there. So now I have 227 once I bring down. How many times does 26 go into 227? I'm pretty sure it's 8, because 26 times 8 is 208. Did this math kind of beforehand, so I should get 208 here. Now I'm going to subtract again. Got to borrow right there. That gives me a 9. That gives me a 1. And now I got to bring down this 5 right here and have 195. Now, how many times does 26 go into 195? Well, it went 8 times into 227. So that means it's going to go 7 times into 195, because that's pretty close. And 26 times 7 is 182. Again, I kind of worked this out beforehand just for time. And then we subtract. I get 3 here. I get 1 there. And what can I bring down? Well, basically got a 0 to bring down, and I need to figure out what 130 divided by 26 is. Well, like I said, I worked this out beforehand. It actually goes in evenly. It goes in 5 times evenly, and you get 130. So far, the second place we could get this answer is we could say, okay, the answer is 18.75 or 18 and 75 hundredths. And the truth is, our math is awesome. But when you look back at this question, if each bag of sand contains 2.6 cubic feet of sand, how many bags of sand will need to be purchased? Okay, well, this means we're going to purchase 18 whole bags of sand and then 75 hundredths of another one. Well, when you buy sand, you can't just buy 3/4 of a bag of sand or 75 hundredths. So how many full bags of sand do we need to buy to cover this up? We'll actually need to buy 19 bags, because 19 bags would give us enough to fill up this entire box with sand. We'll have a little bit left over, but we'll be able to fill up the whole box with sand.